Sewell. Simmers, my name is Darth Jeswick, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the gameplay for the Crystal Creation Stuff Pack. I've given my sim Crystal Baby a few essentials for survival like the gemology table and a pea bush. But let's start out by trying to find some crystals and metals out in the environment in Willow Creek, as it should have a few places to dig. After about 10 minutes of searching and finding nothing in Willow Creek, I took Crystal over to Oasis Springs because there is always crystals there. But yet, to my dismay, I still couldn't find any. I let the game load in for about 5 minutes before I even started looking, and still nothing. Until I finally found something. Unfortunately, it was a fossil and not a gem or metal, but we can still sell it for money and Crystal will take what she can get. Run, Crystal, run! I guess I could have teleported her over there, but we wouldn't get these lovely shots of this street. While she was running over to dig up the fossil, I looked for more possible gems and still found nothing. At this point, I was wondering to myself, did the Crystal Creation Stuff Pack completely break my game? Just as I was about to give up and try somewhere else, I saw one gem behind Johnny Zest's trailer. It was a piece of jade. I also had her dig up a time capsule that I found. We also came across a child making an absolute mess with some chocolate syrup. Where did she even get chocolate syrup in the middle of the desert? At least she cleaned up after herself. Oh, hello there, Katrina. Let's head over by the Roomies household. There's usually lots of collectibles over by the cave. Crystal is not amused by the amount of unattended children wandering around. Still no crystals anywhere. Lots of strawberry bushes. But the only crystal I see is the sim that I'm playing with. At this point, I was getting pretty frustrated not being able to find anything until, finally, I saw another fossil in crystal. This one is an emerald. Shortly after, I found a piece of ultranium, before continuing my search for the precious gems. Finally, after 20 minutes of searching this one area, another crystal and a fossil spawned in. After she had finished digging them up, we went home to design our first piece of jewelry. Let's start by making this raw ring from the ultranium and sapphire. If it gets charged using the crystal grid, Sims will gain mental skills faster and will take longer to burn out on mental activities. This would be really helpful, because burnout can be kind of irritating. Making the jewelry is a lengthy process, taking around 4 to 5 hours in-game. So your Sim better have their needs in tip-top shape before starting. Unfortunately for Crystal, she's gonna have to power through until those simoleons start rolling in. Judith Ward is having a lovely little stroll through the rain. You better come back and buy some jewelry when I'm done. The ring is done, and apart from how long it took, I like the ring. The ultranium is kind of purple, and I think it looks good with the sapphire. Crystal's social need was incredibly low, so I had to talk to this random passerby. She was not doing well overall. The ring had taken so long to make that all of her needs were horrible. I placed the ring on the charging grid, but it only charges from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. How am I just discovering that Sims can sit on this cooler like a chair? Okay, now let's try making a spire-shaped gemstone out of jade. When fully charged, Sims will randomly find crystals doing things around the house. Honestly, I might keep this one for Crystal so she finds more. Her skill is still pretty low, so she kind of fumbles with the grinder a bit and smoke shoots off the crystal. It's a cool animation. So I was just watching Crystal make a crystal, and I noticed this naked celebrity just hanging out on her phone in the rain. For reference, Crystal is wearing her cold weather outfit, so she's gotta be cold. It's finally 7 p.m., so our ring is charging, and Crystal is almost done with the spire-shaped gemstone. Crystal was exhausted, so I allowed her to sleep for the night while everything charges. The grid tells you how long it will take for the crystals to charge, and has an option to only pick up the crystals that are fully charged. This little box of information is why I still have Crystal's plumb bob turned on. Usually I play without it, but for the purpose of this video, I needed the information on the crystals. With the relatively new addition of moon phases in The Sims, crystals will charge slow or fast depending on the current moon phase. In my game, it's a new moon, so crystals charge slowly. Crystal is awake and looking pretty upset, but that could be due to the rotting plates behind her. Luckily, a few crystals and metals had spawned around the world, so I had Crystal go dig them all up. I don't remember which gems she dug up, but they'll all be available for me to select when I make the next piece of jewelry. I made Crystal try on the ring just to see what it looked like, so here is a close-up. The welcome wagon is here, and Blair witching on the corner of my lot. I think they're probably just upset because they saw Crystal use the pea bush. For the next piece of jewelry, I'm going to make a necklace with obtanium and emerald. When fully charged Sims who are wearing it will have more successful career and school chance cards. If I could make a suggestion for the next townie refresh, it would definitely be the Roomies household. I mean, just look at Travis. Yes, I'm talking about you. Poor Summer is literally freezing. Oh my gosh, there's a hidden shelf down here below the gemology table. Thanks for putting the fruitcake down there, Travis, or I wouldn't have known. I really need to buy Crystal a trash can. These bowls must be rancid by now. Oh, okay, Summer, just make yourself at home. The necklace was finished and we were all out of crystals. But I have an idea, but it's gonna involve doing something I would normally never do in a rags to riches, join a career. Specifically the scientist career because crystals and metals spawn like crazy on that lot. I did another quick search of Oasis Springs, but to no avail, so I had Crystal grab some lunch at the food stall. Nancy Landgrab is here yelling at the employee. After Crystal finished eating, she ran home to find that Travis Scott had never left her house earlier. I had her try to flirt with him so that I could woohoo him to increase her fun need, but it got awkward really fast, so I sent him home. Or so I thought. I was away for 1 minute trying to find more gems and came back to Crystal and Travis having an altercation. Travis won the fight and Crystal became pretty dazed for a while. It was starting to get late and Crystal had a long day of digging ahead of her, so I sent her to bed early. Our spire-shaped gemstone was fully charged and glowing, so I added to our shelf of smelly bowls. Once Crystal was fully rested, she used the bush and I went on a search for gems, only finding this fossil and one lonely crystal. We still had a couple metals, so I'm going to create this raw bracelet using alcron and orange topaz. When fully charged Sims will gain creative skills faster, be more likely to create masterpieces, will take longer to experience writer's block, and will take longer to burn out from creative activities. I had her start working on it but ran out of time before she had to go to work. Here we are at the science lab to hunt for absolutely nothing apparently. I've been here for 5 minutes and I've got nothing. Not a single stone as far as the eye can see. It's been a few more minutes and this single stone finally appeared behind the lab. But now what? Half of the workday was already over, and finally the dig sites were showing up and Crystal was able to take home a significant amount of metals and stones. I ended up having Crystal work late so I could get as many items as I could, and Crystal earned about 40 simoleons from her job. Just enough to buy this kid's trash can. I had Crystal work on the bracelet until it was finished, then started on a pair of earrings using Pirate and Sapphire. When charged, Sims gain mental skills faster and will take longer to burn out from mental activities. But for some reason, I wasn't able to click on the checkmark, so my Sim could start working on them, so I switched to a rose quartz. When charged, Sims will get over breakups fast and their social need will not decay. Okay, it wasn't earrings, it was a bracelet, but it still has the same effects. It's like 4 in the morning, perfect time for a yard sale. I tried to give my sales pitch to this lady, but it didn't seem to work. Mortimer, I know you want something for Bella. Oh yeah, he bought the bracelet. Thank you, Mortimer. Come back again. Alika from Sulani bought a bracelet, and Jeffrey ended up coming back to buy the ring. And the vampire that's currently about to burst into flames ended up buying the necklace. I'm not going to lie. I tried to keep talking to her for as long as I could, because I could start a small grave collection. Before Crystal left for work, I had her start on another pair of earrings, using heavy metal and turquoise. When charged, Sims will gain charisma faster, and be more successful in friendly socials. The vampire has just been frozen here, for a solid 3 to 4 minutes, just smoldering before she finally pulled out an umbrella. I went with Crystal to the lab and just had her running around collecting all of the gems and stones that I could find. Whatever glitches were happening the day before seemed to resolve itself. I really was trying to speedrun this aspiration, but I'm going to have to do it over the course of a few episodes thanks to the problems I was having with finding gems. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. I upload a few videos a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Dog.